We're live, I guess.
Hello, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, jam eaters and jam munchers, welcome to another episode of Unplanned Trek's 50 Shades of Trek project, where we are counting down in order the 50 sexiest episodes of Star Trek. We're doing them as rewatch parties, where we invite you to watch the episode at the same time as us and see what we're talking about at the same time. I am Izaak. I am one of the hosts of Unplanned Trek. I'm usually joined by Andrew Hogan, but he took a runabout to the Badlands to find some marquee, and he said he'd be right back, but he has been away for a year or two, so we're not going to wait for him. But I am joined by a guy who produces one of the most successful, one of the most popular Star Trek podcasts out there. He also works on the Shuttle Pod Show too. It is Mark Cartier. How are you, Mark?
I see what you did there. Happy February 3rd for me in Los Angeles. I believe you're in the future.
I am on February 4 here, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet.
That's good. Yeah. So how is the future?
No, Daniels will come and beat me up, or just be annoying if I reveal the future. So what we do, guys, is we watch the episode not only for the sexy moments for the 50 Shades of Trek project, but we are going to be looking out for the best three characters, the most annoying or worst three characters of the episode, any fights that happen, any romance. We're looking out for food, any animals or pets, and of course the 2 Vix Medal, which we award to any deaths that happen in the episode. So we'll be watching with that lens on as well, and we'll give out awards at as the end credits roll of this episode. But what we'd like to encourage you to do is, if you're watching along now, is get a second screen set up and set up with the sound down. Lower Decks Season 2, Episode 7, Where Pleasant Fountains Lie. We're about to press play, and you can watch it along and send in comments or tweets to @Unplanned Trek, which might then appear on our show as well. So, Mark, can you remember this episode? Have you got any memories of Where Pleasant Fountains Lie?
I actually tried to quickly read it before we started here. I'll just read the description as it says it on Paramount Plus, which is what I'm watching this episode on. Mariner and Boimler are stranded on an uninhabited planet with a sentient computer, I assume played by Jeffrey Combs. On the Cerritos, Lieutenant Commander Billups must prove his engineering abilities to an old adversary. So I think I do remember this one.
I think this might be the one where Billups' mum tries to get him to have sex so he becomes king of some kind of Game of Thrones.
Tricks him into being the king of their society.
Yeah. that old kinky abdication thing that happens everywhere, right?
No. Well, there's a few of you here. I want to say hi to those of you who are here. I can see Missy C, I can see Martin D, and I can see me. And I can see Izaak.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, I reckon we're about ready to hit play. What do you reckon, Mark?
Yeah. Cool. So if anyone in the chat wants to watch, we're going to press play on Lower Decks, Season 2, Episode 7, Where Pleasant Fountains Lie. What, you want to count it down, Izaak?
I will, but I'll just check, because your Paramount over there gives you an ad first, right? Are you past the ad and ready to go?
That's true.
Yeah.
Nope.
We don't.
I don't have an ad.
You don't have an ad. You're ready to go. All right, we'll do a
5 second
countdown. We'll go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Now this one here is rated M, which I don't know if we have the same standards of rating here as we do there, but that means you have to be 15 to watch this one. So that's really good for our project. We want the ones that aren't just parental guidance.
Here he comes with the computer. All right, so this is a great Star Trek trope, this episode. The naive civilization being controlled by a super evil robot, or a robot who has lost sort of its way.
Yeah, and not just any robot, right? That is Jeffrey Combs. I recognize him.
Yeah, it's Jeffrey Combs.
And he's heavy too, for the looks.
Hey, War Dogheim, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. This is a bit of an experiment. We've only invited people on our Patreon and Discord, so we're trying to have fun on the weekend, watch a little Star Trek. So it's really nice to see you all here.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Yeah, and once we figure this out, we'll be able to announce it in advance so you guys can join us.
Yeah. Now we have Miggly Moo on the bridge. Does he count as a pet, or is a staff member with animal?
He's an animal.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I reckon we might need to talk about that in detail at the end of the show. Here comes Billups.
Hello, mother.
It's also a Star Trek trope, right? That kids have really strained relationships with their mum.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's
or dads
so much as a
true.
Like just a real life. So the opening title sequence is playing right now. I kind of wanted to talk really quickly about what 50 Shades of Trek is. Can you unpack it?
Yeah, so I really liked the idea. I woke up early one day and realised that 50 Shades of Grey would play really well to 50 Shades of Trek. And I thought, why don't we count down in 2024 the 50 sexiest episodes of Star Trek? So I spent the next few hours Googling across the different franchises the sexiest moments in episodes and used a bit of my own memory and developed a list way over 50 of sexy moments in Trek and had to narrow it down. But essentially what I wanted was representation from every single every single franchise, and apart from that, anything goes. So, yeah, we've done actually quite a few Voyager ones already, but the list is very TNG heavy. But yeah, even Lower Decks and even Prodigy has its share of sexy moments. Of course, Prodigy is designed for kids, so a sexy moment's holding a hand or a kiss on the cheek. But we all know what that means, right? We're all adults here.
So this will be fun. This will be Unplanned Trek 2024 is going to be 50 episodes of the sexiest episodes of Star Trek.
That's right.
So it's fun to have a little mission statement for the year. I can't wait for what this is going to be.
That's right. I think it's a countdown basically of when are we going to watch Sub Rosa? Like every week, is this the week?
Yeah, right.
You know it's coming, right?
It's coming. It's on the list. Sub Rosa. I saw Nancy Congdon popped in too. Hi, Nancy. Good to see you.
Nancy. And for people that haven't come across Unplanned Trek before, what we do is we watch episodes, but instead of like necessarily reviewing the episodes, we're looking out for certain things that we will award points for. And at the end of the year, the overall leader gets the medal. So we're looking for best characters, worst characters, fights, romance. We even look out for food, pets, and people dying. At the moment, the person with the most deaths is 2, but we've got a few people on 2 on our leaderboard. Because it's Star Trek, you can die more than once.
When we're currently, we're 4 minutes and 27 seconds into the episode. So if you're watching along at home, that's where we are.
Yeah.
4:30.
So this is an interesting episode from a Lower Decks perspective because it centers around characters that aren't Lower Decks. It's like the crew, right? Because Billups is the chief engineer, so it's more of his kind of story this week.
Yeah.
So it's not Lower Decks as such, but from our perspective, it's a character that we don't see often, so it probably qualifies.
Well, I mean, I loved it. I remember the first time I watched this episode, I was so happy with the fact that here's this sort of neurotic chief engineer who turns out is the prince of his entire race, his entire planet.
Yeah.
And for his mother, sort of Deanna Troi style, to show up on the Cerritos and try to convince her son to become the king is really silly and fun, and that's kind of what I love about the show.
Yeah, more of a Waxana Troi than a Deanna, right? That's what you mean. Like Deanna Troy's quite quiet.
I'm sorry, Waxana Troi. I'm sorry. Yeah. I meant that. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Thanks for embarrassing me live. bro.
Oh, no, that's all right. I mean,
this is also for you guys watching. We've got 11 of you. We only posted this on our Patreon and Discord because we're trying to experiment with this software and see how easy it is. Figure out if it's fun to do, if it's worth doing. This is new. We're using a new production computer right now, which is why this is working so well.
So as I said, we're looking out for fights, and it looks like this shuttle pod is having an issue, but I can't really tell why at this stage.
Oh, a standard entry procedure malfunction, I imagine.
Right.
Oh, look at that! All the other crashed ships.
Ah, this has got a bit of Wrath of Khan vibes to it.
Yeah. It's just a fracture. Oh, she put her bone back in.
Did she? I missed that. I was taking notes. She's so tough.
So you're doing the Worf Medal? Is that what you're doing?
I can do that
for all the fights.
Yep. How about you look out for romance? And I know you like the Grudge Medal. We'll give you that. And I'll look out for anyone that dies as well as the Worf Medal. And we'll work out who's doing the 3, 2, and 1 of best and worst up as the episode wraps up.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, what have we got? Something nutritious there that they're eating. So that would be a 2 weeks.
Neelix point.
Yeah, that's right. I'll call it replicator rations because I'm sure that's what it was. I think it's funny that Neelix is one of my most hated characters, and we've kind of got 2 medals named after him, with the food medal and the Tuvix medal is half Neelix, right?
Oh, it's half Neelix.
Yeah.
Why don't you like Neelix? Neelix is amazing. He's so great.
The reason I don't, that might be why I don't like. He's not important or required at all. Like, do you know how much quicker they got home because Neelix was on board?
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, they got rid of him and they got home 5 episodes later. Like, he was holding them back, man.
Well, I think like halfway through the first season, he admitted to not knowing where they were going now.
Yeah.
Left the area.
He's out of range. Yeah. But also, it's a bit weird that he looks like a couch and he's dating a 2-year-old. Like, we just don't talk about that.
Some things look better on paper than they do on screen.
That's right. Did you see that beautiful looking lute player?
Yeah.
He was pretty hot. Yeah.
Well,
in fact, everyone's pretty hot on this. We're on ship. But it doesn't look like a ship, right?
Yeah, they're on his mother's royal flagship, which apparently is a pleasure ship.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, they've manufactured some engineering issue to get him on board the ship.
Right. So give him a legitimate reason to get in
he's
there.
eating a ration bar.
Terrific. And here's Jeffrey Combs, who probably is playing every character in this episode. It's great how I just assume that a showrunner or someone in charge of the series just rings up Jeffrey Combs and goes, "Hey Jeff, I've got an idea," and he just goes, "Yes, yep, I'm there." I haven't even told you what the idea is yet. Yep, no problem.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'll be there.
All right, they're shooting.
Oh, we got an animal.
I'm helping you with your Worf Medal. They're shooting at some computer-eating dog pig.
So that's helping you with the animal medal too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you call him? An animal computer-eating dog pig?
Dog pig.
We've got to get technical.
Hey, Margit. I just saw you pop in there. How are you? Hey, Big Stevie W. Good to see you. Just so everyone knows where we're at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Or at least I am.
Now, really... Oh, black licorice. Another one for the Neelix medal.
Now, does the computer, Jeffrey Combs, talking about food count as a food point?
I guess if it's specific food.
Yeah, he said water. He said licorice. He said something else, I think.
Yeah. We've already had quite a bit of food this episode. I guess Mariner and Boimler here are fighting the heat and exhaustion a bit. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really hot, and they're not. If Boimler's rolling up his sleeves, and going non-regulation, it's bad. Have they taken Agamagus with him or whatever his name? We'll just say Jeffrey Combs.
Computer Jeffrey.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's wearing him.
There's fruit in that tree.
Oh, there's coffee in that nebula as well. Okay, the Boimler and Mariner are kind of fighting each other here too.
Yeah. These scenes where they're walking across the desert planet. Oh, here comes the fruit.
Would you eat that?
It tastes like black licorice.
That's hilarious.
I would not eat that.
No, I wouldn't either.
I find myself, because it's lower decks, as they walk around in this sort of post-apocalyptic desert wasteland, I find myself looking at the background to see what Easter eggs or little, hidden gags are going on in the background. All right, beetle animals.
Yeah, he said crabs.
Computer stealing crabs.
The CSC. So I don't know how Jeffrey Combs would have recorded this and streamed it. I guess he's got Paramount Plus as well.
Everyone has Paramount Plus.
Yeah, in the future or now?
Now. Yeah. If I had to choose one streamer to have, it would be Paramount Plus.
Yeah, but you're a Star Trek nerd. You got to have Paramount Plus. It means you get everything except for Prodigy.
I also like Frasier. I also like Cheers.
Yeah. I think the only real thing I've watched that's not Star Trek on Paramount Plus is I watched the series Fatal Attraction last year that came out.
Oh, you did? Was it any good?
It was. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I got pretty hooked on it. Yeah. But I kind of like the sexy 80s whodunits.
Missy C., who is Jet Reno?
Jet Reno. She's one of the engineers on Discovery. Oh, she's right. She did use a licorice to fix an issue. I think it was to stop Book doing the bad thing when he was with... there was I don't know if it was season 3, I think. Yeah, but... Jet Reno used licorice to solve a problem in Discovery. Do you know the funny engineer?
Yes. Pig.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. A lot of her scenes I've heard she's not there to do. Like there's a lot of green screen. She's not usually with the cast because she doesn't like flying or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, not from her directly. She doesn't answer my tweets.
Oh, she doesn't call you back?
No.
She doesn't respond to your constant, continual harassment by a text message?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Hey, Tig, it's me, Izaak, again. Just leaving you another voice message.
Yeah. I love the background actors on Billups's mum's ship. How they're all really beautiful. How they're all very medieval looking. The costumes. Yeah, it's fantastic. He's my favorite Doctor in Starfleet.
Really?
Yeah, I would love to have her on our show.
Is she so grumpy?
Yeah, she just swears all the time. I also love her relationship with what's his name? The security guy. Shax. I love their relationship.
Oh yeah, it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
The best relationships are often inappropriate.
And they're good, great use of the holodeck together as well, which is good for any relationship.
Oh, when they go bank robbing?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It is.
Hey, Tiff. Tiffany Laurie is here. Nice to see you.
All right. Well, this is definitely a fight.
This isn't just one
of those. Yeah, this isn't just one of those vocal sparring fights. But Boimler's never going to win against Mariner.
No. I don't think anyone would win against Mariner unless they've got a gun.
Yeah, even still.
Oh, he just stunned her. Yeah. I forgot about this.
I guess he's motivated.
Lacks her vision, says Jeffrey Computer. Computer Combs.
Yeah.
We are 17 minutes and about 15 seconds in.
So we haven't really seen anything to Mour Hub yet, have we?
No, unless we missed it. I have this recollection that there was all these girls trying to seduce him.
Yeah, this isn't the first episode. I mean, this might be the first episode with his mum, but it's not the last one. So there is a scene where it actually might even be this episode where two characters, a man and a woman, go to his room and try to seduce him. It might be about to happen.
What's going to happen now?
It might be these two. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's early here, but I'm up for seeing it again.
Yeah, I just keep watching this over and over.
Yeah, I like the relationship between these two as well.
Tandy and Rutherford?
Yeah, I think the obvious trope is to ship them together and make them a nice relationship. But even if they're not, if it's just platonic, it's nice to see, that they're really supportive of each other and positive couple, be it romantic or not.
Yeah, it's nice. It's sweet and innocent, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, forgetting gender or, attraction, it's got a bit of a Geordie Data or a Bashir Miles feel about it, like just really good friends. I don't think this is likely in the future.
Use my battery.
We wouldn't need cords in the future. I say at times that future generations are going to laugh at our reliance on cords. I've got so many cords just to do this today. I can see 5 different cords coming into my laptop just so we can record today. In the future, you just turn on your laptop. Be easy. Get it done, Apple.
Feast.
Yes, I did see a chicken drumstick jump in the air, I think. Yeah. We haven't had a feast yet.
Yeah. I wonder if a feast should get 5 points.
He could certainly get a good feast would qualify for the Picard Medal.
Destroying his virginity. Phillips loves his virginity. Oh, what a silly show.
It is, isn't it? Oh, there's my loot player. I love that guy.
I've got a Warren Phillips.
It's everyone.
Foreplay. My guards are trained from birth to skip foreplay. Oh yeah, this is a very sexy episode of.
Oh, we got a horse. Oh, we've got more than a horse. I've never seen a
horse. That's right.
Yeah. So, do we know the names of these two sexy people?
No.
And Billups? Oh, come on, Billups, you can do it, man.
Did his kingdom come?
You don't have to do sex.
Oh no, no. You don't have to do sex. That's what I said.
That's what Mark said. It still counts. They've taken a lot of clothing off. Oh, is this a fight?
Oh, the murder drones from TNG. What is that, season 1?
I'm trying to...
There's a salesman
those ones.
Weapons and...
Oh, I hate that episode. So, yeah, you're right. That is a callback to that. We'll go drones v. Boimler and Mariner. They have copped it big time this episode. Boims and Mariner. Nice little fist pump there.
Yeah, okay, so I forgot this happened too. They tricked Computer Combs by telling him he was plugged into the computer, but he actually isn't.
Well, that's obviously science fiction, isn't it? I mean, there's no way you could trick Computer Combs. It's science fiction. Oh, pet dragons got mentioned there.
Oh, there we go. Pet dragons.
Yeah.
Pet dragons.
I love that everyone's so happy for Billups.
What about the 2 people who tried to seduce Billups? Are they?
Oh yeah.
Are they pet kitties? Kitten, pet cat.
There wasn't any heavy petting.
I even got blown up.
it did. I mean, to go with the analogy a little bit more, it did seem they were pretty much groomed for the role. Maybe they are pets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't seen that bald guy before.
I never understood the difference in uniforms. Everyone else is wearing the standard uniforms, but the Cali class ships all have these other goofy uniforms.
They never really explain when they change uniforms. Why? Like, why did Next Gen have different ones to Voyager and DS9?
I wonder if I mean, California class ships are supposed to be support ships, right? They're not the big ships that go out to the edge of the galaxies. They're the ones that
are second contacts.
Yeah, second contacts.
Yeah. I take it we're at the Daystrom Institute now.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Computer Combs is in a locker in a room filled with lockers, all of which have evil computers in them. The evil computer prison.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Special guest star Jeffrey Combs.
That's right. So what we do now, folks, is with our different segments in mind, we analyse this episode and give some pointless points away that will contribute to our leaderboard and then our end of year show to see who is winning. So we'll start
what a great episode of Star Trek.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
And what an awkwardly sexy episode of Star Trek.
I mean, what's better than sexy is awkwardly sexy.
Right? Awkwardly sexy.
Yeah. Have you got leanings on if you'd like to do the best 3 characters or the worst for this one, Mark?
No.
Okay, well, I might have a leaning towards the Picard myself. So,
all right,
if it's all right with you, I'll do the best 3 characters for this week. So, the first one, it absolutely has to be Agamus or Jeffrey Combs, the computers, just for being there. I mean, Jeffrey Combs, walk up, start. You're in an episode, he gets a point.
Yeah, you know? Okay.
Yeah, because he's a legend, and you know what? It's a Jeffrey Combs episode. If anyone else played this role, we probably wouldn't enjoy this episode. Right?
Yeah, I agree. Unless it was Ricardo Montalban, he would have been great as an evil computer.
Oh yeah, he would be. I also suspect that Jeffrey Combs played every other character in this episode. So, you know.
Well, I was going to watch the credits. That good.
Yeah, I did see Phil Lamar in there, but you know that could be Jeffrey Combs. 2 votes is going to go to Billups.
Good one.
He did have trouble at the end getting the motor humming, but that might have saved him from being a prince, which we all want to avoid. Particularly when you could be an engineer, right? I mean, engineer, sexy prince, right?
Yeah. You know,
so
king, not just even sexy prince. And it's funny when he decided to resign his Starfleet commission, he did this thing with his hair. He just pushed his hair back, and it suddenly looked like he was a prince.
It did, didn't it? He looked very regal very quickly. But
so
for nearly falling for the trick, but not quite getting tricked into having sex, Billups gets a point. But 3 votes, and I think I alluded to him a couple of times. But my sexy loot player guy, he was the standout for me. Didn't have a line, but he did some good power chords at the end, and for me was the standout of the sexy background actors. If I was Billups, I'd be wanting him in my sexy 3-way. I didn't think I was going to say that today, Mark. But it's all right. Mrs. Brown doesn't listen to this podcast.
I wonder why.
That's right.
Honey, I'm going to go play with my idiot friend Mark.
All right, I'm going out. Yeah, that's right. I've even blushed a little bit about all that. But that's all right. I've got time to recover because Mark's going to do the opposite of what I've done. So the Keiko O'Brien Medal goes to the 3 most irrelevant or plot-stopping characters of the episode. Mark, was there anyone that annoyed you this week?
The same there's an amount of points to go. Say again?
I was just saying the characters I've said can also qualify for this medal as well. You can get votes on both the positive and negative side.
Yeah. Well, I think the first. So the Keiko O'Brien Medal, it's not just the worst. It's the most irrelevant or like unnecessarily added to move the plot along, kind of a thing. So I think Captain
Freeman.
I think that Captain Freeman really didn't contribute much to this episode. So I'm going to give her 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that first officer, what is his name? Why can't I remember his name?
Jack Ransom.
Ransom. Number 1. He is also pretty, and not only is he kind of irrelevant in this episode, the one thing he actually does to drive the plot forward is to hand off the evil supercomputer. He agrees with Mariner to allow Boimler to go with her on the mission, which turned out to be a mistake. He rectified by the end, but then he delivered this computer to these lower decks kids instead of just dealing with it himself.
Yep.
You know, if it's that important, why are you handing it off?
He didn't care.
Yeah, he didn't care. So I don't care about his participation in this episode today. So that's 2 points. And then I think the 3 points go to our sex kitten and sex cat. As
the doctor,
the 2 who were trying to seduce Billups.
Oh right, yep. The
sex guards.
Yep, yeah. We'll call them the sex guards.
Yeah, the sex guards. Their one job was to get him to become the king by having sex.
Yep.
Which is the rule on their planet, I guess. You're the king once you have sex, and they weren't able to do it.
That's standard kingdom rules, I think, Mark.
Right?
I mean, they were just sitting on the edge of the bed waiting.
With kings and queens like you do.
But saying that, literally my king's on the other side of the world. Like, he doesn't care.
No, he was telling me the other day how much he cares about you. In fact, he's a big fan of the show.
Yeah. I think he's our latest Patreon, actually.
Yeah.
He loves Star Trek 5 1 minute at a time.
Yeah, but he's at a lower tier, which is fine. It's just,
That's fine. Yeah, I get it.
He talks a big game, but then he shows up for $1.
Yeah.
I own half the world.
That's right. Yeah, only the colonies.
No, I guess it's true, though. When you think about it, it makes sense, because if he's your patron, then he'd have to be every one of his subjects' patron as well.
Yeah, you can play favorites, though. It's not like having a kid. You don't have to be fair.
You think so? Do you think you can remain beloved as a king of your realm if you're choosing super faves?
I don't know if you have to be beloved to be king. It's not like you voted in. You can be, you don't have to be popular. Not like a podcaster. You need to be popular to do that.
I noticed War Dog I'm stuck in Florida. Very sorry to hear that. Is it bad weather? I don't know what the weather's like there. It's been pouring down rain here in California. We've had flooding.
Yeah, we haven't gone to that extent, but it is unseasonably raining today here in Tasmania, which doesn't exist. I've got
in the future. Oh, I tricked you into telling me about the future.
Oh, geez, the temporal police are going to get me for this. I think that's Daniel's at my front door now. Yeah.
Hi, Damon, and hello, Canada. I know there's a couple Canadians here. We've got Margit in Germany. We've got Tiff and Damon in Canada. War Dog, I'm in Florida. I don't know where anyone. I think Nancy's in the Midwest, Indiana, maybe. I think. And who else? And you're in the future.
Well, we'll stay with the past though. We'll have a look. We'll get you to look at, Mark, the Mour Hub Medal for any romance or sexy shenanigans that happened in this week's episode.
Mour Hub.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there was the failed seduction act. There's multiple of those. Yeah. So am I giving out one medal for the best?
No, this is an infinite medal for the Mour Hub. It's anything that you deem worthy of sexiness gets points. And to clarify that even further.
Well, first I'm going to start. Go ahead.
I was going to say participating is enough to get a point. So, for instance, Billups kind of failed in his scene, but he's there. He's still there. So he would qualify for a point if that interaction qualifies. Yeah.
Well, then, so I would say we have to start with Computer Combs, Jeffrey Combs, playing the voice of the evil computer. His sultry voice, the computer voice, was very seductive. He was trying very hard to trick Boimler and Mariner into letting him do evil computer things, like plug into a mainframe. Plug me into the ship. I'll give you rewards. Obviously, Billups gets a point for participating in a failed sex act. The sex guards. Yes. What do we call them? Sex guards?
Yeah, sex guards.
They each get 3 points because every time they were around, they were gropey all over Billups. And then they went straight up. I think this is the only lingerie. Can anyone correct me if I'm wrong? Is there any lingerie in Star Trek? Like real lingerie, not like...
What about what Troy wears that one episode when she answers the door?
Oh, and she's all being seductory because she's under the influence of the...
Star Trek.
Of Star Trek.
But that was definitely lingerie. Yeah, we had that one with 7 last week with no clothes.
Also, there were all of the girls on the ship who were trying to seduce him. That was sexy.
I like putting all the girls on the list.
All the girls. And then, and I hate to add Tandy to this, but she's always kind of she has that wistful sort of, I need to take care of Rutherford, thank you. Thing, which is sweet, and like it's almost like she wants. It's like she's too embarrassed to say that she wants her first kiss. It's really sweet and innocent, and so I hesitate to include her in this conversation. But also, she's in Orion.
Yeah.
So I feel like.
So with that, I've got a couple of points. Being awkward or not asking for a first kiss, I kind of get that. My 20s were incredibly tough, Mark. But if we're giving Tendy a point, are we giving Rutherford a point too, or is it just Tendy in that?
Well, I think if he had given her if he had picked up on it and blushed as well, but he never picks up on it. He's naive about it. It's like he doesn't see it.
Yeah, he's the muse, but he doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can give her a point by herself. That's fine. Usually it takes 2 to tango.
Holy moly.
Well, that's probably it for the Mour Hub.
Yeah. What do you want to do next? The Worf?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So for new players, the Worf Medal is awarded for any fights that we've seen in this episode. And I did note down quite a few this week. We first of all, we had the shuttle pod. We didn't know why it crashed. So I've just got the shuttle pod was fighting space.
Yeah. I think actually it's more accurate to say it was fighting planetary entry.
Oh, yeah.
Entry.
Atmosphere. We'll go atmosphere, yeah. I had the computer-eating dog pig was fighting Mariner and Boimler.
Yep, that's a good one.
Mariner and Boimler were fighting the heat on the planet.
Yep.
Boimler and Mariner fought each other twice in this episode. One was actual with fists and phasers, and the other one was just shouting at each other. And we also had the drones fighting Boimler and Mariner. And I was just noting down one that I didn't think of. We had Billups fighting virginity for the episode as well.
Billups fought to maintain his virginity and succeeded, albeit accidentally. At the end, he gave in, and luckily, nature helped him out, helped him across the finish line.
Yeah, I'll also give Billups another point for fighting his mum throughout the episode. Yeah.
And Rutherford for fighting for Billups.
Oh, yeah. But who did he fight?
He fought all of Billups' people to get Billups to stop him from becoming king.
Yeah, I'll call them castle people.
Castle people.
Rutherford versus castle people.
The people of the realm.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of points coming up this week in the Worf Medal. I can see Boimler and Mariner going up pretty high in the list for the 2024 medal for their contribution this week. And as I said, nice to have things like virginity, heat, and computer-eating dog pig appearing on our list this week. So that's really good. Yeah.
That's the only time a lot of those are going to show up.
That's right.
Yeah, I think you forgot Boimler and Mariner fighting computer combs.
You're right. I didn't. Yeah, I had a computer-eating dog pig, but I didn't have a computer. So yeah, we'll go combs. Yeah, you're right.
Anyone in the chat think of something we've missed? Did we miss the Worf Medal again? Is points for fighting, adversarial, blah blah blah.
And again, like the Mour Hub, you don't have to win the fight; you just have to be in it.
You have to participate.
Yeah. Like I can imagine Wesley Crusher being fought at, but not necessarily punching back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to? What's the next one?
Next one I've got is Neelix. So this is the food medal, where we note down any references to food that happened in the episode. So I did list a few here, Mark. We've got licorice.
Yes. Yeah.
We've got water.
Water.
It seems really boring to add to the list, but it was mentioned. I saw Boimler eating some sort of chocolate bar. It was probably a replicator ration, but I've called it a chocolate bar.
Yeah, it was like an energy bar ration thing.
Yeah, we had fruit, which I was expecting to be psychedelic fruit. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to eat alien fruit, it's going to be psychedelic, right? It's not going to be just a standard orange.
Yeah, it was that weird glowing blue, and it gave them glow blue mustaches.
Yeah. And the last one I've got is the medieval feast that we had on board as well, where we had a lot of food there. It looked like a lovely... We would have had a great time there, Mark. You, me, Billups. We would have had a great feast. And by feast, I mean food.
I think that had we been in this episode, if this episode of Star Trek was real and we were there, we would have had hijinks in this episode.
Oh, we would have had a lot of fun.
And I don't know if it would have been more fun to stay on the ship and deal with Billups' whole ruckus, or if it would have been more fun to get stuck on the hot desert apocalypse planet with evil robot with evil computer combs.
I don't want to turn down being stuck on a desert island with Jeffrey Combs, but I want to be at that medieval feast. We don't have to be at the head table. We could be at one of the background tables, having a lot of fun, a lot of drinks and a lot of food, wearing very sexy costumes. I mean, I'd wear what I'm wearing now. You look pretty good at the moment too, Mark.
I look pretty great right now.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah. I'm close to giving you a Mour Hub Medal for just looking nice. Yeah.
I'm blushing everywhere.
Ooh.
It's not nice.
Everywhere. Yeah, but anyway, then let's move on. That was the food. We'll move on to the Grudge Medal. Now, this medal is named after my favourite animal in all of Star Trek, Grudge, Book's cat, and probably, well, maybe Book is Grudge's cat. I don't know. But Grudge, the cat in Discovery, who's a queen, has this medal named after her, and it's for any animals that we spot or pets that we have in the episode. Now, this one is a particular favourite of Mark because he does like stretching the definition of pet. I think last time you were on, you gave Dax a point, I think, for being a pet, which was well and truly justified. Now, I spotted a horse. What did you see this week? Because I'm sure you saw more than just a horse.
Saw a dog pig.
Dog pig, yep.
Dog pig, computer eating dog pig. Or I'm sorry. And then computers stealing crabs. There were multiple crabs.
Oh, yeah.
At least 4 or 5 of them. Yeah. The horse, like you said, they mentioned the pet dragon. And even though we didn't see an actual dragon, there was lots of images of dragons in this episode, especially on the castle ship.
Yeah.
Then I also would say if I do want to stretch the definition of pet.
Good
animal.
I'm up for it.
And I want to say that the 2 sex guards were pets. One was a sex kitten, one was a sex cat. And,
which one would you play, Matt?
Oh, a cat. No, I'd be a kitten. I don't know. It depends on the mood.
Depends on who else is in the scene.
Who else is in the scene. And then I have to say that Billups is an animal for defeating his mother's evil plans.
And fighting his urges, probably, too.
Yeah. He fought his urges. He fought nature itself, the very reason for existence. He stood up to it and said, no.
No, engineering is what's important.
Yeah. I'm sacrificing this because I love engineering.
Yeah, man. What a bad decision.
You think O'Brien would do that? Or you think he'd be like, you know what, I'm going to go back to Earth.
Yeah, O'Brien's like, no, how about I just play darts with Julian instead? But, you know, if this was but if this was DS9 episode with Keiko in it, she'd be on Earth visiting her mum or on Bajor doing some botany anyway. Like, she's not around much.
She'd have left a note. She would have been mentioned.
Yeah.
What does Keiko think?
The best episodes with Keiko in it are when she's not Keiko, when she's Mirror Keiko or Par-Wraith affected Keiko. Then she's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I just watched the TNG episode where she's little kid Keiko.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and O'Brien's all awkward about it, and she's like, "I am Miles Edward O'Brien. I am
your wife.
Good.
You're grounded. Go play with Molly." Yeah.
Fun.
Well, I don't think anyone died this week, so I think we rule out the Tuvix medal this week.
The hopes of Billups' mother. Does anyone know how to spell Tuvix? Is it Tuvix?
That's right. Yeah, we'll just go. Yeah, the hopes of the castle people died.
I'm adding the banner. There we go. Boom.
Wow. Yeah, that certainly did die. But you've also got a feeling that this isn't the last time that they will try to seduce Billups. I don't mean the sex cat and the sex kitten. I just mean his mum with her tactics.
If there was an opposite of the Tuvix award, it would go to Billups.
What did you bring to life?
For saving his virginity from dying.
Yeah. Look, I had a few lines there. I've decided not to play any of them. They're all terrible.
Terrible.
Well, Well, that's all the medals, and that is what Unplanned Trek looks like, guys. We watch a show and we talk about it with these silly medals in mind to analyse not if it was a good episode, a great episode, or a brilliant episode, but we just love all Trek and we just like to look at some of these little details and award some pointless points out for it. I really hope you enjoyed it, Mark. It's been fantastic having you on to do this with again. We really enjoy having you on, and thanks for your support and for anyone that's joined from the Shuttle Pod Show community. We really appreciate you jumping on for this test today. Please feel free to leave a comment or tell us what you think, if this was a good way of doing it. And if you've got any questions, let us know. I can be reached on X at Unplanned Trek. And for those that weren't here at the start, my name's Izaak. I host the Unplanned Trek podcast with a guy called Andrew Hogan, and we're based in Tasmania, which is a little island on the southeast corner of Australia, where it is currently Sunday.
We can't leave without acknowledging Martin D catching what we missed. The Computer Combs' hopes of domination were killed by Boimler and Mariner.
Ooh.
Murdered.
Wow. That's a very good point, Martin. So we're going to put Jeffrey Combs's ambitions died. That seems a bit harsh on Jeffrey Combs, but he was playing a character. Jeffrey Combs's evil ambitions died.
Yeah, and as we do this again, so the next time we do this, we'll announce it further in advance so more people can participate. And I think maybe at the end of it, if anyone wants to talk about the episode, we can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe if we can pull it off the live feed and we can just have a group chat, or we can do it live. Why not do it in the chat here? Do it in the thing. So we're very grateful for all of you being here. All 11 of you.
And thanks for jumping on at short notice. We really do appreciate it. And as I said, give us a bit of feedback. And if you watched the episode at the same time as we were talking about it, that'd be cool to know too. Or if you're just listening to us talk, that's cool as well.
I'm thinking I might try to sneak it in the background somehow, so it's little and we don't get nabbed by the YouTube robots.
Ooh, yeah.
So that I had a question for you and I forgot. Shoot.
What do people usually ask me?
It was important. What is next on the list of 50 Shades of Trek?
That is a great question. Next one is an episode. I do, but I want to be a little bit coy, if that's all right.
Oh, sure. That is, after all, yes. We're talking about Shades of Trek, so being coy is part of the game, I guess.
What I'd like to do next week is an episode of Picard.
Oh, there we go.
So that kind of rules out season 3, which was all story and no sexy. So it's going to be before the great season of Star Trek Picard. I can tell you that.
When the nerds took over again. They got slightly good again. Oh.
They focused on story rather than sexiness. But there were a couple of sexy moments in the first 2 seasons. So we'll pick up one of those next week.
Well, thank you all for joining us for number 44 on Unplanned Trek's 50 Shades of Trek.
And if you've got any thoughts on what you think might appear on the list as well, we're keen to hear that as well.
Oh, that's a fun game.
Yeah, so as I alluded to, Sub Rose is definitely there. It's just which week are we going to do it? It's not number 1, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Well, cheers to all you all. Live long and prosper. Love to see you all. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Go watch more Star Trek.
Trek. Mark.